Jesus of Nazareth, a Jewish preacher and healer, stands as the central figure in Christianity. Born in Bethlehem and raised in Nazareth, his life and teachings form the foundation of Christian faith. Christians believe Jesus to be the Son of God, the long-awaited Messiah prophesied in Jewish scriptures. His message centered around love, forgiveness, and the coming kingdom of God. Jesus' teachings attracted a large following, but also drew scrutiny and opposition from religious and political authorities. Jesus' ministry, characterized by miracles and pronouncements of God's love, challenged the established order. His teachings resonated with the common people, offering hope and spiritual liberation. However, his growing influence and claims of divine authority put him on a collision course with the ruling powers of his time. This conflict would ultimately lead to one of history's most pivotal events, the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. To understand the crucifixion, we must grasp the historical and political landscape of first-century Judea. Judea, Jesus' homeland, lived under the iron fist of the Roman Empire. The Romans, known for their military might and efficient administration, tolerated local religious practices to a degree. However, any perceived threat to their authority was met with swift and brutal force. The Jewish people, yearning for the restoration of their kingdom and freedom from foreign rule, held onto the hope of a Messiah. This political and religious climate created an atmosphere of tension and unrest. Into this volatile mix stepped Jesus, proclaiming a message of spiritual renewal and the coming kingdom of God. His teachings, though spiritual in nature, carried inherent political implications, further raising suspicions among both Roman and Jewish authorities. The events leading up to Jesus' crucifixion unfolded during the Jewish festival of Passover, a time of remembrance and celebration for the Jewish people. Jesus arrived in Jerusalem, the heart of Jewish religious life, hailed by crowds as the Messiah. He entered the temple, the holiest site in Judaism, and disrupted the activities of money changers and merchants, accusing them of corrupting the sanctity of the temple. This act, a symbolic condemnation of religious hypocrisy and corruption, further inflamed the anger of the Jewish religious leaders, known as the Pharisees and Sadducees. They saw Jesus' actions as a direct threat to their authority and influence. Conspiring to eliminate him, they accused him of blasphemy and sedition, charges punishable by death under Jewish and Roman law. The hour of crucifixion. Betrayed by one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, Jesus was arrested in the Garden of Gethsemane. He was brought before the Sanhedrin, the Jewish high court, where he was interrogated and condemned for blasphemy. However, lacking the authority to carry out the death penalty, the Jewish leaders handed Jesus over to the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate. Pilate, though finding no fault in Jesus, succumbed to the pressure of the Jewish authorities and the threat of a riot. He sentenced Jesus to death by crucifixion, a brutal form of execution practiced by the Romans for criminals and insurgents. Jesus, carrying his cross through the streets of Jerusalem, was led to Golgotha, also known as the place of the skull, a sacrifice for sin. The crucifixion itself was a gruesome spectacle. Jesus was nailed to the cross, his hands and feet pierced, left to die a slow and agonizing death. As he hung on the cross, mocked and ridiculed by onlookers, Jesus cried out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" This poignant cry reflected the depth of his suffering, both physical and spiritual. For Christians, the crucifixion is not merely a historical event, but the pivotal moment in human history. It signifies the ultimate act of love and sacrifice. Christians believe that Jesus, though innocent, willingly took upon himself the sins of humanity. His death on the cross atoned for the sins of all people, bridging the gap between God and humanity. A legacy enduring. The impact of the crucifixion on history and modern beliefs is immeasurable. For over 2,000 years, the cross has served as the central symbol of Christianity, representing sacrifice, redemption, and the triumph of love over death. Jesus' teachings, centered around love, forgiveness, and compassion, have inspired countless individuals and transformed societies. The crucifixion, though a brutal and tragic event, gave rise to a message of hope and salvation that continues to resonate with billions around the world. It stands as a testament to the power of faith, forgiveness, and the enduring human spirit. The story of the crucifixion is not just a historical account, but a living narrative that continues to shape the lives of individuals and the course of human history.